over. This is a 2-part. You feel me? Do you think Kamala Harris being the vice president is a step forward for black people?
It depends. I don't know. I'd have to see with her actions, but yeah, I'd definitely say that because we get more and more African. I'm not gonna say African American because she's more than that, but we're getting more black people in positions of power. But it depends. She might be.
So you think representation?
Yeah, she might be whitewashed though. I won't say she's
whitewashed.
Yeah, most definitely. So that's a factor as well. So even she can be black, but I don't mean she's gonna work for black people.
Which she hasn't.
That's what I'm saying. Because when you get to those places, there's not much black people up there in those high places and stuff like that. So you kind of stick with what you know. And if you're around a bunch of blunts all the time, then that's what you're going to do. You're going to hop on blunt shit. Because who you going to talk to?
I think
you can't go back down and talk to people that's, I'm not going to say lower than you, but lower than you in status a little bit. It's not like they're going to go back and down and talk to them. And the only people you're around are high-tier people. And these high-tier people have all types of habits, whatever. They just happen to be blunt. There's not much.
I think Kamala Harris being the vice president is just for looks.
Fair enough.
Same way how most black people think Obama's the best president.
Nah, pues.
Just for looks. Because
not completely, but it was.
It's for looks because majority of our black people, once they see somebody black in a certain position, if they don't have that other side of their mind to think beyond the surface, they're going to be like, oh, they black. They're going to help us out. 9 times out of 10, they're not.
Nah, they're not. They don't be on your team.
Kamala Harris, I don't know if you know this, but she enforces mass incarceration.
Okay, gotcha.
She's
prison system.
She's like, you feel me? Throughout her whole political career, she's had, cases and records of her just being locking up black people.
Yeah,
for
whatever
extended
reason.
periods of time for no reason.
For the cheese.
So I said it before the election. I'm saying it now because I guess you could say the representation is there now, but I don't see how that's going. That's how that's helping us as people because she's not going to work for us.
I mean, it depends what she does for us. I'm starting to see a lot of things like, okay, so they're pushing more with the diversity. Even if she's not necessarily working for us completely, as long as she's taking people out of those predominantly white positions, then I feel like that's more of a step because at least it's giving people a chance now. That's what I would say that she's doing. She's doing it indirectly. I'm not saying she's directly affecting us and helping us, but as long as she's getting certain people out of certain positions, and then now it's creating a room of opportunity, even if it's not for black people, if it's for
just feel like like I said, I feel like it's just for looks. Like there's difference between symbols and substance.
Yeah,
and I feel like her being in that position is just a symbol.
But do you think she's doing anything to push forward like the world or America at least?
I don't think she's doing anything. I don't think Joe Biden is doing anything.
Oh yeah. I hear puppets, but I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna get too much into that, but
puppeteering, I feel that. But yeah, you right.
Yeah. So
nah, she probably. I can't say that. I gotta do my research on her. But like you said, if you saying she just part of mass incarceration and stuff like that, Joe
Biden too.
It's good.
He's one of the people that signed the mass incarceration.
They all for the cheese though. Yeah, they all trying to get to it. They all in the same party trying to do what they do.
All right, let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Between Malcolm X and MLK, who do you think is the better leader?
I'd say MLK because his way, like Malcolm X really couldn't control his death. At the end of the day, they both knew that they weren't gonna live very long. But I feel like Martin Luther King had at least he gave, like his words touched. I'd say they touched more people, or he got a wider audience of people. So I'd give him the bigger impact.
Okay.
What would you say?
I'm taking Malcolm X.
Why would you say that?
And maybe this is more like personal than factual, but I feel like if somebody keeps coming at you, for example, if I come over there and hit you 4 or 5 times in your face, are you gonna respond back to me and be like, "Yo, why are you doing this?" You gonna split me back?
You gotta. I
feel like at some point, you gotta put fire with the fire.
Yeah.
And I feel like the reason why, when they teach us about the civil rights movement, I feel like the reason why they opt to go with MLK is because MLK was more passive.
Yeah.
And the same thing I just said about Kamala Harris, about symbolism. I feel like MLK was placed there to show that there's somebody fighting for him, for black people
Did
as
you
a
watch
whole.
Judas and the Black Messiah? Right?
No, I didn't watch it yet.
Okay,
I didn't watch it yet, but I got to.
Before, yeah.
So I feel like he was placed there so people can think, you feel me, there's somebody black working for us.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, think about what MLK was telling us to do. Our people were imported here by whites, misused, tortured, killed, all type, basically tried to genocide us. And you're telling us to be peaceful. Malcolm X, on the other hand, was more straight to it.
Yeah.
Somebody get you, you get them back. And I feel like the reason why MLK is more supported in the main light, and they tend to call Malcolm X a terrorist, is because Malcolm X didn't stand for being passive and just standing there.
They was calling the Black Panthers terrorists too, bro. That's crazy.
But that's exactly the point.
I get
that's
you.
the whole point.
That's what I'm saying.
Because when you have a group of people that are actually going to fight you back, now it becomes like, how dare you?
How dare you?
But it's then like MLK is telling us, let's have peace and that. There was a time to have the peace, and they chose to be violent. So why would I sit there and take, violence and be like, oh, let me just be peaceful, as if that's gonna help?
I totally get you with the Malcolm X thing, and if it go down to it, and niggas had to do a war, kid, it's up.
And then this is my personal thing. I've been saying this since high school.
Yeah,
I feel like the way we were segregated with black people having their own shit, I feel like that was the best thing that could ever happen to us.
Yeah, because we started getting our knowledge back.
Because now that everything's mixed, we have to share everything with white people. Not that I have something against white people, but just think of a society where we go outside, all we see is our kind. We go to a restaurant, all we see is our kind. We don't have to deal with going to a restaurant and maybe being mistreated because of the color of our skin.
Yeah.
So I've been saying this since high school. We had our own shit. MLK came and fucked it up. I said that since high school.
So you got the timelines on that?
What you mean?
Like I'm saying, like when you did the research, you got the timelines on it. So that's your conclusion.
What you mean?
Like when he started speaking or whatever, he started
pushing. That's when
shit
started pushing
going,
the civil rights. That's when
a lot of shit started falling apart.
And they're like, okay, fine, we're gonna let y'all do this. We're gonna let y'all do that. We're gonna allow you guys into our restaurants. Allow you guys to use our bathrooms.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, even though at that time they weren't maybe the same quality, over time, like think of us. That's what I said. Think of society now where we have our own shit and the white people have their own shit.
Yeah.
Our life will be totally different.
I feel that.
Yes, there's still, you feel me, black on black crime, but that's a problem within itself that we need to work on. But think of a society where, like I said, the white people have their own space, we have our own space.
So you believe that he was like overly passive?
Overly passive. And I feel like the passiveness is what is why we're still suffering from some of the things in a lesser degree today.
I agree to disagree at the same time. I feel like he was passive a little bit. I feel like they definitely should add a sense of aggression just to let niggas know that we on that type of time, regardless of the fact. But at the same time, I feel like he was spreading more messages of love. So the reason why I'm gonna say that is because when you do shit, karma come back to whoop your ass. So the Bloods, they karma finna be sick. That shit might be extinction. I'm not to be rude or anything like that, but I just feel like MLK, I just feel like the people should have had a little bit more knowledge or intellect to understand the situation, because you can't take everything a person's telling you and just run with it. You understand what I'm saying? Like if people have more knowledge to, like nowadays, if people wanted to be like self-sufficient, if they wanted to become like their own bank, understand like financial literacy and all of this stuff, grow their own food, this, that, whatever, the world would be completely different. It wouldn't be as much like consumerism. We wouldn't have to be so dependent on the system. Now, like with cryptocurrency and stuff like that, it's going to be giving like the people a lot of power back. But I feel like that's all it is. I feel like we just lack a certain amount of knowledge. Like I support both of them. Like Malcolm X, for real. Like if it's down to it, if it go down to it, like if we have to, you know, whatever, go to war, shoot it up, whatever the case is, because them blunts, they not playing fair, kid. They was not playing fair. They was doing all types of shit through these assassinations. They was setting niggas up. Even if niggas survived, they was bagging niggas at the hospital, kid. So it's like, yeah, I completely understand that. If you got to put the guns up, they don't really want that for real. If they got to put the guns up, then that's just what it is. Because even back in the day, ancient civilizations, Greece, Egypt, all of that shit used to have to come down to war. And when people got their independence, it came down to war.
To add on,
yeah,
a few years ago, Kanye West had said slavery was a choice.
Yeah.
And at the time when he said it,
rubbed people the wrong way.
I thought he was, you feel me, like, what's wrong with this nigga, yo?
He was out of pocket, yeah.
But as I started opening my eyes and thinking about what that meant, he probably said it or it came across the wrong way. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it was a choice. Because if you look at history, bro, especially we could use Haiti because that's our country.
Yeah.
In order for Haiti to be independent, we had to go to war with France to get our independence. Mm-hmm. So, yes, there was like, you feel me, there's different slaves in different areas in the world. But if black people were to come together and be like, we're not taking this shit no more, we would have went to war, who knows what the outcome the difference would have been now. But the fact that we stood there and took it, that's what I took from when he said it was a choice.
I'm going to be dead ass honest with you. I'm going to put it like this. Like, there's a food pyramid and black people, we the grass. Literally. Because we set the trends, we do all of that. Now, what happens to the food pyramid if like the food source at the bottom like just dies off? There's no grass. Everything will fall completely. So all it would really take was a few months of maybe like saving and just starting to get in tune with like preparing our own stuff, like financially, preparing our own food, taking care of our bodies and stuff like that, and just getting the proper knowledge to be self-sufficient, and we'd be fine. And like, them boys wouldn't be able to tell us shit because the majority of the time we setting the trends for the products that we end up buying. We overpaying for products, like, bruh, like getting into like the clothing thing. Like, I'm starting to realize, like, bruh, they charging $90 a piece for the top and the bottom for these Nike sweatsuits, bruh, and they getting the shit for like $30, and all they doing is imprinting Nike on it. Like, that shit's crazy. Like, that shit's crazy. If everybody start purchasing, if they start going hard for they homegirl brand the same way they was going hard for Gucci, bro, it'd be up.
Exactly.
The money would stay in the community. The money would keep flowing. Everybody elevating. Everybody would be rich. Everybody would be getting to it. But I don't think people see it like that. But it's a lot of self-hate in the community.
A lot.
A great amount of self-hate.
That's why I said black on black crime goes beyond just black people killing black people. It's just the fact that you can, like you said, the self-hate,
mm-hmm.
like the way it's supposed to be, bruh, the way it's supposed to be in my head, if I go out on the street and I see, you feel me, my black brother in trouble, I'm supposed to be able to help him.
Yeah.
But that's not what takes place anymore, or if it ever did. That's not what happens.
Facts.
Most of the time, what black people say, I'm going to mind my business, and they move on with their life.
Yep.
Now, I feel like if there was more, you feel me, unity, and, you know, I'm going to help my brother, I'm going to help my sister out, then things will be different. Mm-hmm. Because once the community comes together, it's like an unstoppable force. So it's like, what are white people really going to be able to do to us if we're all together?
Man, we out here walking blind and niggas still.
But the fact that we're divided, it makes it so much easier to infiltrate.
Most definitely.
Because there's no wall there. There's no wall. So they could just come in and do whatever the fuck they want. If there was a wall, it wouldn't be that easy.
But it's not even like this war. It's like a war against the rich and the poor. But like the other blunts don't even get it. I ain't gonna call them rednecks, but I'll say rednecks, whatever the case is. Like a majority of these like Trump supporters, it's like, bruh, like them niggas really don't even be caring about you. Like they're so like they be just using opportunity to be like, all right, we're gonna use these two like lower income classes and help them fight against each other. Like, bro, they don't care about any low income.
We're not human to them.
We're not. So I don't understand why we would be fighting each other and creating all this race, like the race war, whatever the case may be. If like, bro, they don't care about anything except their money. Like they just see us as the same. Literally, they could give a hell.
And
like
the saddest part is we make them rich
every
single day.
Facts.
And until, like you said,
To become self-sufficient.
Until we become self-sufficient and we start generally supporting one another and stop, I'm not saying not to buy from whoever you want to buy from.
Definitely enjoy your life. Most definitely.
I feel like...
But it's imbalanced.
Exactly. Completely imbalanced because, like you said, Nike gets their shorts or whatever the case, they
the whole
print it,
little
and then all they
sweatsuit,
do,
bruh.
Put their Nike on it, sell it for $200.
That shit crazy.
And we eat it up.
Bro.
So it's not that hard to put an imprint on something.
It's not. And especially when we give the trend, bro.
Exactly.
Like, we're the trend, literally.
But because people don't see a name that they know, they're going to automatically turn a blind eye and go get the more expensive version that just has a better name on it in their eyes.
I just want, it's just the biggest thing is just if everybody thought for themselves, it'll be a whole different ballgame. Because when people think for themselves, they think smarter, they think more logically. But as soon as somebody like starts thinking with a crowd and they see like, okay, my favorite role model is doing such and such, then that's when shit start going south, bro. Everybody just start following like, all right, this is a new trend. I got to keep up with this trend. And they stressing themselves out trying to keep up with trends and shit like that. That shit just turn into GRIMACE, bro.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. You end up in a spiraling loop. So many people, bro, like, what was it? The PS5, bro. Like, all of the games that you buy now, majority people pre-order their games, they buy it on a PlayStation store. They don't even go to GameStop and shit like that to buy discs and stuff like that. But now they selling the non-disc version for $400 and they selling the disc version for $500 and they selling out in the disc version. Like, why y'all niggas need disc? Y'all niggas don't go to GameStop no more.
Exactly.
They tricking themselves, bro, just because they following what niggas doing. That's crazy. That shit make no sense. But people got to see it for themselves. Everybody will learn.
You can't. You can take the horse to the water. You can't force it to drink.
Whether it's this lifetime or another lifetime, they'll figure it out. All due respect.
Hopefully.